we all know in principle that the goal, so-called goal of enlightenment, is to attain oneness, to go beyond our sense of separation. And that if we look really deeply into it, the root cause of all of our fears and suffering is sitting on top of that erroneous perception that we really are separate, that somehow we've been split off from each other, from creation, from what we really seek. And it perpetuates a lot of our fears. But we've deeply internalized this as well and claimed it very much as a human experience. You know, much of our quest revolves around our human identity. We think of this whole process of awakening as something quite exclusive to being human. And mostly it is a very personal journey and experience. Of course, we're motivated also because we want to have closer relationships and to restore harmony in our relationships and to find greater meaning. Nonetheless, most of our approach has been somewhat siloed. It's been really focused around me, the individual. And here's another thing that's quite ironic. If we look at that, despite our best intentions to transcend the ego and our self-centeredness, we're still perpetuating it. We're actually using that same construct, that same framework in our journey most often. And that's very reflective of perhaps the greatest malady for humanity on the planet, which is egocentrism. And so we see pretty well everything we are suffering with and struggling around is to do with egocentricity. The notion that somehow I matter more, I am superior. And a lot of that is happening, of course, unconsciously. We don't necessarily mean to be selfish or assume a position of superiority, yet that is happening at grand scale in the world. So even if we dig back a bit to find or look at the trail we've undertaken, how did we travel so far out of balance as a human race? And we look back through history, we'll see that in stark contrast to our world of excess consumption, centralized government, superior governance, possession, control, and ego-driven agendas, we look back in contrast to that. As an example, we can look to some of our indigenous ancestors and societies. And in that we see systems of cohesion, holism, so holistic living, learning, growing, and contributing. So it's about the collective as a group. And even more so, not just the human collective as a group, but the entire system of life and creation. So in my culture, we refer to Ngali Gumara, which means everything is one and interconnected. If we look at some of the deepest spiritual traditions, we'll see that same message echoed throughout. That really all of life is one. And that what we're seeking is to restore our connection with each other, with life in oneness.